And you're very welcome back for the third time today to ILR2 Season 6 ILR. So as everything was going swimmingly with the lobby restart, I lost all spectator audio, no car audio at all. So we finally got that back. Now we can finally get underway, which is what we love. So anyway, we're on board with Matt Tibos here in Bahrain. This is where we are today for the second round of ILR2 PS4 tier. First of the 3 night races of this season, of course, the other ones being Singapore and Abu Dhabi. And the soft, medium and hard tyres available for the drivers today: C1, C2 and C3, so the kind of the hardest compounds available to them. 1 stop is the way to go today. 2 stop is possible, but don't expect too many to jump onto that unless they have experienced wing damage or have had to jump to that different strategy off the bat. 2 stop is slower, but expect plenty to be on the 1 stop, so you can either go soft to hards or hards to softs, whichever way you want to go. Probably not going to see an appearance of the medium tyre unless anybody is desperate enough to do that. Anyway, we're finally into qualifying. 13 minutes left to go, and it's Matt Tibos currently fast on a 1:28.365. Speedster on a 28.5, Paco on a 28.6, Archie on a 28.7, Foxy on a 28.73. Mikulitsi in his debut right here, the reserve driver from Finland, 1:28.879, then Glock on 28.9, Scuba, then Corey, who hasn't quite set a representative lap yet. I believe he's pushing on at the moment. So we'll see what he's able to do. See if we can get that lap data up for everything up so everybody can see. Top of the hill right here into sector 3. He's coming in now. Careful not to cut the corner too much there. The power. And down to the last corner. Deceivingly tight. You want to get that turn in as much as you possibly can. Onto the brakes he goes. Down to 3rd gear. Turn it in. Onto the power. He'll have a distant toe off the Alfa Romeo up ahead of him. Not quite going to help him though. Here comes Corey across the line. Where's they put him? It puts him 2nd on a 1:28.497. So he pops in behind Matt Tibos for now. But it's great to have Corey back in ILR2. He was in every single tier that I commentated on up until last season, so he's been in every tier but 1 that I've done, but he's finally back. Now, who else are we looking to set a lap? CC Brain in the McLaren. He's currently just warming up. We've Praga to set a lap. We're waiting for Tom in the Renault to come around, but you have to say the game was absolutely fantastic at the night time in Bahrain. It looks gorgeous. And hopefully we're going to get a great race out of it too. So Tom, I think, just building up to his lap. There's Scuba and the other Mercedes. His teammate's currently provisional pole position. Archie pops in, that was Super Guy, sorry, pops into P5. And you can see how closely matched the 2 Williams are. That is 4 thousandths of a second, I believe. 28.706 and 28.710 separating the 2 Williams cars right there. Super Guy just getting the edge over Archie right there. It's currently Mercedes, Ferrari, Alfa Romeo, Red Bull. The yellow flag's probably going to be for a slow car. We got very sideways out of the turn 4 complex there. That's turn 3, excuse me. And that is going to be common enough. You're going to see that plenty of times on the way out of that corner. Get on the power too much. And everybody's pretty much qualifying on the hard tyres because you just see Glock popping into the fastest time right there, into provisional pole on 1:28.20. But pretty much everybody is out on the hard compound tyre because Bahrain, it really destroys the rear tyres, does this track. So expect everybody to be on the same strategy unless they dive onto the medium tyres maybe. If anybody's going to make that jump, but Glock currently fastest on the 1:28.2. Matt Tibos on the 28.3, Scuba on the 28.4, he's just popped into 3rd, actually we just missed that. Corey on the 28.4, and Speedster on the 28.5, as well as Calzo on the 28.5 in the Toro Rosso Honda, as he gets very sideways, and he's lost that actually, and that's, just as I was saying earlier, that turn 3, getting on the power too early, and losing that rear end, and look at that, Tom, 1:28.518, 1,000th of a second behind Speedster and the Alfa Romeo. That is how close we are around this track. Just going to get rid of that lap data. just have the telemetry up so you can all see how these drivers are getting on. Scuba looks like he's just on an in-lap. Glock as well just behind him. So we're in that lull in qualifying once again before we head into the business end of proceedings. Braga kind of has the track to himself now. There's only plenty of drivers coming into the pits. So that he'll have a clear track in front of him to unleash that McLaren around this Bahrain circuit, getting the tyres, getting heat into the tyres right here. We'll take a ride on board with Praga and see how he gets on in this McLaren. So here we go for a lap around the Bahrain International Circuit in Sac here. First DRS section is the main straight across the start-finish line down towards the heaviest braking zone on the track. This is the prime overtaking spot right here. Watch for the curb. As soon as you see the curb, get on the brakes. Turn it in. Very tight first corner. Get up through the gears best you can through turn 2, which is where you'll see the cars losing grip, getting sideways. Second DRS section down towards turn 4, where we saw that amazing battle between Hamilton and Rosberg all the way back in 2016, I think that was, or was it 2014? It was a long time ago anyway. In through turn 5 and turn 6. Quick sequence of corners, and down towards turn 7. The hairpin loses the back end a little bit there. In through turn 7 up towards turn 8 and 9. A very tricky sequence of corners where you'll see plenty of guys locking up as they head into this corner. Praga gets through, no problems whatsoever. Third DRS section up towards turn 10. And Matt Tibos fastest, 128.14. Praga through turn 10. Long turn 11, turn 12. Careful not to get onto that curve because that will spit you around. Turn 13. And then down towards turn 14, the last corner. Let's see if where this puts Praga in the order. The Magic's going to slot him in right into the midfield. Comes through the last corner. Down towards the DRS section, 26, 27, 28. Pops into 13th place right there on the 28.8. And you can see just how close the field is. There's a second separating pretty much the entire field. Alfie has not set a representative lap yet, but a 28.14 to a 29.14 is the spread of this field, as Matt Tibos back on top once again at a 128.149, which is 0.06 of a second ahead of Glock, with Scuba just 0.2 of a second behind him, and Corey very close behind. He's building up to it for another go with the Senna helmet on, and Tom barely needs anything. Needs a couple of centimeters to improve his position. We'll see if anybody else can improve. Still 6 minutes left on the clock, so still plenty of time for drivers to get another lap in, but nobody is coming out on any other tyre other than the hard tyre at this point. Here is Foxy Dude in the Alfa Romeo, building up for a lap. Super Guy in the Williams. Miku is coming out. There's Scuba fastest on a 128.097. It's Mercedes 1-2 at the moment, no different to real life. But very, very good lap from Scuba right there. Puts him top of the standing. So it's Mercedes 1-2 and a Ferrari 3-4. Something we're quite used to seeing. So I was about to say actually that Miku actually came out on the medium compound tyre. So he is changing things up. And you can just not noticing the audible difference of the Honda engine you can hear. Sounds totally different to any other engine that we have. It does sound pretty nice over those speakers right there. ILRT Alfie unleashing his racing point around, and that's something I have to get used to saying as well, because the last time I saw this car, it was called Force India, but it is Racing Point right now. There's Alfie coming up towards Sector 1 split in through turn 4, then 5, 6 and 7. Looking good so far, keeping it... Oh, getting it very sideways, got that all wrong. Can he get it round the hairpin? That's beautifully done from Alfie. Well held, kept his foot in it. Unfortunately his lap is done, but that was a great effort nonetheless. Fair play. Many, many points for style right there. we did miss Super Guy in the Williams in 4th place, 128.400 dead. So the field is very, very close together. As I said, about a second separating the entire field, Alfie being the exception. He's still yet to set a representative lap. 4.5 minutes on the clock. And now everybody's pretty much into the pit lane, but we'll have to see how Miku gets on the medium compound tyre in the Red Bull. Let's see if he can get himself further up the field, because this will be an alternate strategy if he makes it into the top 10, because the medium is not really the best tyre to be on. You kind of want to be seeing guys going from the hards to the softs, which is going to be the dominant strategy today, as you can see. Or some people might opt for the soft to hard. May see that in the dying moments of qualifying. We'll see if Mikulitsi can get himself further up the grid on those medium compound tyres. He's outside the top 10 currently on a 128.8, only 0.8 of a second off of pole. So let's see how he gets on in this Red Bull, heading on towards turn 14, the last corner. Downhill braking. Gets it turned in. Heading towards the line. Let's see if he can improve on his time. He comes across the line and he goes pole, and that is the deficit. 0.8 of a second between the hard and the medium compound tyre. Mikulitsi 128.014, 0.08 of a second on pole currently, and he spun in the first corner, but now he is on provisional pole position on a totally different compounded tyre. Now let's see, is anybody else going to do the same thing? And look at that, everybody coming out on the medium compound tyre now. Corey's out on it, Speedster out on the mediums. Everybody's followed suit because they've seen the pace difference. So we're going to be seeing probably a mediums to hard today. Or depending on how far they can push these medium compound tyre, we could see, maybe if they're audacious enough and if they really mind their tyres, mediums to softs. But it's Mikulitsi provisional pole position, and you can see there was an 0.8 of a second deficit between those tyres, so expect these times to drop rapidly. And here's one man who could do that, get himself in provisional pole. Corey, with Paco just ahead of him, I believe, is indeed. So he's heading towards turn 1, unleashing himself towards turn 1. There's one of the McLarens behind, and one of the Alfa Romeos trying to get themselves further up that order. One of the racing points getting out of the way. Alfie's still getting out of the way, and he still hasn't set a lap yet. There's a lap registered on the board, but it's not representative. Corey on his way through turn 4. And in through 5, 6 and 7. Front wing oscillating as it heads over the curbs. The curbs, of course, way more vicious in this game. It can literally shake your front wing apart. And there's Glock getting out of the way. In through turn 8 and 9 now. Up towards getting a distant toe off of the Red Bull up ahead of him. Paco, of course, one season ago was the championship leader at this point after winning in Australia. No such win for him this time. Corey, a multiple winner in ILR2. And of course in ILR back in the day. And Speedster 127.2. The times are rapidly dropping now. Speedster's happy with his time. These are the final set of laps. Paco's about to come across the line. Where does he go on the Red Bull? He comes across the line and he goes second fastest. What about Corey? Where does he go? He comes across the line and he's backed out of it. So he obviously wasn't improving. And that's a disaster. Corey all the way down in 9th place at this point. And still guys yet to improve. Foxy Dude currently now P2. What a lap that was from Speedster on a 127.2. But it's our Alfa Romeo 1-2. Now we're waiting for somebody else. Calzo, P2 in the Toro Rosso, 127.4. Anybody else we can find that is on a lap? Matt Tibos on an out lap, and who was that popping into 4th? It was Archie into 4th place in the Williams. Waiting for anybody else to begin their lap. Scuba coming across the line to start his lap, and Matt Tibos on a lap as well. So these guys are the ones that can challenge for pole if they get everything together. These guys are not on laps as far as I can see. Super Guy, he's on a lap. He's just lapping around behind one of the Alfa Romeos. Tom on a lap. He's not on a lap, actually. I thought he is on a lap, actually. So we'll keep an eye on him. Archie, or Alfie, excuse me, on a lap as well. Let's see if he can get himself further up. But Foxy, is he still pushing on? I don't think he is. But we've got to wait for the 2 Mercedes to cross the line now. Matt Tibos currently coming through turn 8. And he's gone a bit deep there. That's not going to help. You can see him locking up there. Prague has popped into P3, 127.771, but it's still Speedster on a 27.2 in provisional pole. Glock 27.5 goes third fastest. Can anybody else challenge? The 2 Mercedes still on a lap right here. Tom, of course, on a lap doesn't improve. Still 14th on the grid. Alfie comes to the line. Can he get himself off the back row? He goes to 4th. Great lap, 27.6. Pulls out of the back of the dying moments now. The 2 Mercedes left. Matt Tibos to the line. Can he get himself on pole position? He comes across the line. No, that's a terrible lap. 27.9. He goes 11th. What about Scuba? Pole, 27.1. Scuba, pole position for Bahrain. Ahead of Speedster in the Alfa Romeo. At the very last moment that lap came out of it. And that mistake from Matt Tibos in turn 8, excuse me, really cost him right there. And he starts 12th on the grid. He's not going to be happy about that one. But it is Scuba in the other Mercedes fastest. So we're now going to have some alternate strategies, I think, from the guys starting outside the top 10. We'll have a quick rundown of your grid for the second round of ILR2. Scuba, pole position ahead of Speedster by 900ths of a second. Calzo P3, then Glock in 4th. ILRT Alfie in P5. LR Praga in P6. Super Guy in P7. Mikulitsi on his debut finishes P8. Foxy Dude in 9th and Archie in P10. Outside your top 10, you might see some surprising names out here. Paco, Matt Tibos, CC Brain, Corey, and Tom, all outside the top 10. And this could make for an interesting race. We could have a 50-50 split in the strategies. All the guys outside the top 10 will be starting on the medium compound tyre. But I can see the guys outside the top 10 moving to those hard compound tyres. Now, knowing the ILR2 curse, we're going to see rain, maybe. I really hope not, but nah, definitely no rain. Here we are in Bahrain. Lovely day. So we are running slightly behind schedule because of the lobby issues. But we're going to be getting underway very shortly for the Bahrain Grand Prix and round 2 of ILR2. So 30 seconds to grid and we'll get in the formation lap underway. And hopefully we're going to get a great race out of this. But some surprising names that's outside the top 10. Guys you would expect to be inside that top 10, up the sharp end of the grid, down the back. But Speedster is the championship leader coming into this, and he starts from P2. That's all he needs to do. Formation lap is underway right here. And let's have a look at those tyre strategies. And what did I say? Absolutely spot on. Top 10 on mediums and the rest of the grid on hard compound tyres. So, pretty easy choice for the rest of them. But Speedster, as I said, he leads the championship coming into this. Scuba is 6th in the championships. He's nice and well up there. Calzo 3rd in the championship, is now starting from P3. Let's run through your grid very quickly. Scuba P1, Speedster in P2, Calzo 3rd, then Glock in P4, Alfie with a lap to put himself into 5th, Praga in P6 in the McLaren, Super Guy in the Williams is P7, Mikulitsi in P8, Foxy Dude in P9, then Archie in P10, Gamer Paco in P11, Matt Tibos in P12, CC Brain in 13th, Corey in P14th, and Tom down the back. That's an interesting last row. These guys, of course, very familiar with each other. 2 ILR veterans. And sharing the back row of the grid in ILR, you love to see it. But there's Scuba at the top right now in the Mercedes, ahead of the Alfa Romeo of Speedster. It's all about that start. It's all about who gets down to turn 1 first, and who could control the pace. 29 laps of Bahrain to come, and round 2 of 21 of ILR2 on PS4. Rounding out this week's action in ILR. ILR3 is currently ongoing. They should be in their race at the moment. But ILR2, we're about to get the action underway. Scuba heading towards pole position. And lining himself up on that grid. Have to wait for the last car to get into position now, which is of Tom in the Renault. It's been a long time since I've seen an F1 grid lineup in ILR. We're finally about to get underway for round 2 of ILR2 from Bahrain. Who is going to come out on top today? Let's find out. 5 red lights ahead of the drivers. Who's going to come out on top today? Lights out and away we go. Scuba gets away. Well, great start from Calzo from the second row of the grid as well as they head down towards turn 1. Speedster immediately defensive versus the Ferrari of Glock. Oh, big accident off on the road and the Ferrari's in the middle of the grid. That's a huge crash. Oh, that's awful in the middle of the grid. Ferrari spearing off into the wall. Glock's in the wall. Multiple cars involved there. That was a huge accident on the first lap. And heading down towards turn 4 now, Alfie's up to second place after all that carnage. Looking up the inside of Calzo as they come into turn 4. Massive crash happening down towards turn 1. And Alfie goes through the P2 from 5th on the grid. Great start from him. Calzo 3rd. Speedster drops down to 4th with Prix all over him now. Let's head down towards turn 7 for the first time, looking around the outside. Archie looking up the inside of the McLaren now. They head down towards turn 7, for the first time. Not quite able to get through there. Matt Tibos into 9th place now. Paco goes wide. Tibos is going to come up the inside there. That's a mistake from Paco there, but he's still getting the drive out of turn 9. And Super Guy's out of this session after that massive crash involving the Ferrari. Matt Tibos gets that done up the inside. And he's into 8th place now. And the safety car has made an appearance. We've had the safety car for the first time in ILR2. It's been a long time since we've seen the safety car, and immediately it's come out. Immediately. Didn't even get a lap of racing done. But that accident involving Super Guy and Glock has prompted the stewards to bring out that safety car. And now we're going to wait to see that Mercedes safety car. Is anybody maybe going to take a gamble and come in? Oh, a couple of guys dummying to the pit lane. As you can see, everybody's doing it. And Corey is going to come in. So he is going to make his stop. And this is going to save Glock, actually. This safety car has really saved his chances. And he's coming in for a new front wing. And they're going to have to double stack, as you can see. And Corey, is he on his way out? Oh, you don't tell me. Oh, you are joking. Oh, that took an absolute age. That was an extremely long stop from the Ferrari. And now Glock gets a new front wing on. And he'll be on his way. And the two Ferraris now down the back of the grid. But the safety car has made an appearance. There it is. Out in front of the drivers. And I didn't think we were going to see it at all this season. But it's come out on lap 1 in ILR2 right here. So it's of course the time to get the stream tweeted out. So we should have about 3 laps maybe behind the safety car. It's what we usually tend to have, but it'll of course give the drivers time to save fuel and save their tyres. So that was actually a very clever move from Corey, because now he isn't going to need to stop again. He can take those hard tyres to the very end of this race. So he's already taken his mandatory stop. And that was a very clever move from the Ferrari pit wall. Not something that we usually say, but it's brought him back up to the back of the grid. He's on fresh, hard tyres, well, as is the rest of the grid, but the rest of them still have to stop. And is anybody going to make a dive to the pit lane now after they've seen that? Probably a little bit too early for that, but the Red Bulls, everybody's dummying towards the pit lane. CC Brain is going to take his stop, as well as... Oh, you're joking me. Corey is taking another stop. I wonder, is he trying to get the wing damage fixed? Or is there wing damage that they haven't repaired, but he's come in again. And he's now on his way. CC Brain is onto the medium compound tyre. And all these guys don't have to stop again. So we should have another lap under the safety car at least. But it's very interesting to see it to make an appearance. We didn't see it at all last season. As far as I know, we saw the virtual safety car plenty of times, but now the full safety car has finally come out. But Alfie was the big winner, and let's just have a quick look as we look, just to see who's being the biggest mover. It's actually Matt Tibos, and Tom, who started at the back of the grid, of course, is up to 11th place. And Archie up 4, and Alfie is up 3. So you can see now, 12th, 13th and 14th, one stop already done. If they can keep within touch, they are in a prime position to have already taken their mandatory stop, which means they will not need to stop again at all. So as many laps as the safety car is out, they can take as many stops as they want. So no sign of the safety car coming in just yet. We should not... Well, actually, just as I say that, safety car in this lap. So we'll be getting underway on lap 4 of 29. We've had the safety car out for 2 laps. And Corey, down the back, of course, stopping twice under the safety car. He's on a fresh set of tyres and he does not need to stop again. Neither does CC Brain and neither does Glock. So this could be interesting. Scuba now controls the pace, and I believe he's gone already in through the last corner. And we are going to be underway. Once again, green flag waves. And we're back underway. And Alfie trying to get himself underneath Scuba. This is only one of his opportunities to maybe make a move for the lead of this race. Sticking behind for now. What about Praga looking on the back of Calzo? Any moves behind Paco and Tibos going at it. Paco around the outside of turn 1. Switches to the inside for the next corner. That's a good move. Still a lot of squeezing going on. They're still neck and neck as they're down towards turn 4. Just behind as well. Tom is making moves as well as they try to sort themselves out after the safety car restarts. Still side by side, and look at Mikulitsi trying to come around the outside. He runs wide. There's going to be contact between the teammates. Matt Tibos goes through. Glock trying to make his way through as well. Absolute carnage happening behind here. Glock, of course, involved in that opening lap incident, trying to get himself through. 3 abreast as they run down towards turn 7. Ferrari up the inside. Can he take 2 in 1? CC Brain can. He goes around the outside of them all. Brilliant start from CC Brain right there. On the brakes he goes. Tom up behind Paco. And the restart gets underway. Problem free, but CC Brain, he's already made a stop. He doesn't need to stop again. Neither does Glock. Is he making the move again? He's looking to the inside. No move on from him just yet. Corey up the inside of Mikulitsi. Needs to make tracks and gets through. Trying to follow his teammate Glock, who's trying to get back past CC Brain. Look how late he was on the brakes there. That was incredible. It looks like we've had a lap free of safety car. We've actually had a lap of actual racing. As they begin lap 5 of 29. The guys down the back have stopped already. You see up ahead, just Speedster looking on the outside of Praga, looking around the outside. That'll be a nice move. He can make that work around the outside of turn 1, switch to the inside for turn 2. Praga still sticking with him around the outside. Great move from the McLaren. Now Archie going to get himself involved. Praga up, now getting up behind Praga. Going to go 3 abreast maybe. Speedster goes to the outside line. Has to defend versus the Williams. Speedster gets the undercut on Praga. And can he get up the inside of turn 6 now? Up the inside. Yes, he can. The McLaren carries it around the outside. That's a brilliant battle between these guys. And here comes Archie around the outside of these guys as well. Brilliant stuff between these 3 guys. Speedster, I think, has managed to make it work in the end. Praga still trying to stick his nose in. Great stuff from those three guys there, and Speedster comes out ahead. Praga looks up the inside, Archie looking to the outside line now as well. Foxy Dude's up the inside as well. Matt Tibos getting on the back of this group as well. And these guys are dropping back now because they're 3 seconds off the lead. Corey has just got past his teammate, and looks like his teammate's got a problem. But he's lost 2 positions in the space of a very short time. But a brilliant piece of battling between the 3 guys there. How they didn't end up in a crash, I don't know, but great driving from them all. And Speedster comes out in 4th place. But they're 3 seconds off of the lead cars right now. And no DRS just yet as well. We haven't even got to the point where DRS is enabled. So any of the moves made will be pure slipstream. So on their way they go once again. DRS is enabled this lap. Foxy Dude looks like the most likely to make a move. He's looking on Archie. Archie goes defensive towards turn 1. Late on the brakes goes Foxy Dude. Looking for the cutback. Nothing on for him just yet. Gets on the power. He'll have DRS this time. So will Archie. Here comes Praga. Does he have enough on Speedster? No, he doesn't. Nobody making any moves. Yeah, beautiful heli cam shots as they come through. You can just see Foxy Dude and Archie going at it behind. And behind as well, you can just see Tom and Paco still having a little battle there as Paco tries to close up to the back of this train of Speedster down. It's a train from 4th all the way down to pretty much 11th at this point. As CC Brain tries to close in, and there is Corey right up behind him as well. Look how close he got to the back of him there. And CC Brain will not have DRS this time. But does he have the drive? No moves up ahead just yet. I can see Tom having a look on Paco up the inside, not quite able to make it work. And of course Alfie will have the DRS on Scuba up ahead as well. Still plenty to go there in the background. Glock and Mikulitsi going side by side. Nice little move from Glock right there. Around the outside. Manages to stick ahead of him. And here comes Tom up the inside of Paco. Who has the DRS actually in that case? They came over the detection point, and it looks like Paco's got the DRS, so Tom is through, but it's not over, because now Paco's got the DRS on him. Tom holds that inside, almost demolishing the pit boards. Paco moves to the outside line towards turn 1. He should get it done before they come to the braking zone. Tom has a look, but no way through. Paco gets back ahead once again. And they continue on their way. Speedster leading that train of cars. Look at that, all the way down to last. 4th to 14th is in one shot. Then you can see up top actually Scuba and Alfie within half a second of each other. Calzo right with them too. So the battle for the lead is also hotting up as well. So plenty of action happening throughout the field here. And they continue on their way. And of course with the safety car the stints on the tyres will be extended. They still have to stop these guys. So now Calzo closing in on Alfa. See, the top 3 are all with each other, as you can see. Mercedes, Racing Point, and Toro Rosso. This is on board with Calzo. And he looks like he's got the pace, because you can see he's got loads of ERS to use. He's saved it all up, and I think he's mounting an attack now on Alfie. Let's see if the Scotsman can get through. Alfie will have DRS, of course, off of Scuba. But Calzo's got plenty of ERS. As you can see, fastest lap of the race, and he was conserving ERS that time. And in the back, you can see that battle happening between Speedster, Praga, Archie, Foxy Dude, Matt Tibos. Now, we might go back actually because Paco has lost the DRS, and here comes Tom. Does he try it on the brakes? No, he doesn't. Paco locks up. No way through. Behind as well, no moves just yet. These guys not making the tracks really, but they just need to stay within a pit stop of the guys up front, and at the moment they're doing just that because the field is so close together thanks to the safety car. It's 3.8 seconds back to Speedster. These guys, they're really holding the run up front. Speedster's leading this train of cars from 4th to 14th. Just one DNF from this race, and it was Super Guy. There is Corey making his way just about past CC Brain. Does CC Brain come back at him? No, he doesn't. We will have DRS on Corey here. Corey does not have DRS. Can CC Brain come back at him here? Got decent drive out of turn 8. In towards turn 9. Not going to try anything just there. So Glock is closing up to the back of him too. These guys trying to get within DRS range of Tom. Just up the road, as you can see. And Tom's still trying to find a way past Paco. He's already got past him. Every time he tries, he gets swapped back around. Now, Calzo right on the back of Alfie right now, even with the DRS. He might have a try on the brakes here. He's heading towards turn 1. Here he comes to the inside. Calzo up the inside. No, he doesn't quite try. Pragas has the fastest lap of the race behind, actually. So these guys on a decent pace behind. What about Tom? To the outside of Paco, looking for the switchback move. Can he get on the power? No, he can't. Corey still fighting with CC Brain, who tries to get up the inside of him there. Corey just holds on, and as you can see, Tom and Paco going at it as well. Corey going defensive versus CC Brain. CC Brain goes around the outside with no DRS right there. Corey back up the inside now. The McLaren banging wheels as they come down towards turn 5. The hand of anger goes up in frustration. And Corey goes through. And Tom has made his way past Paco as well, just in the foreground there. And now Glock looking to make his way past the McLaren as well. So loads of action happening throughout the field. Can't take your eyes off it for 1 second. And we're heading on to lap 10 of 29. And right now, we would be considering pit stops for these guys, but we haven't done 10 laps of racing. These guys have only actually done... They've done 3 laps under the safety car, so they've only done about 6 laps of racing. So through they go once again. Caldo not as close as he was to Alfie this time around. Looking throughout the field just to see if there's anybody making any moves. Tom's going defensive, as you can see. Paco's definitely not close enough to make a move this time. Tom's got a decent gap. You can see the bits of Glock's front wing from that massive accident heading towards turn 1 into the grass and spearing back across the field. And it's somehow still, the safety car saved his race. He's still in with a shout. Anybody is really in with a shout right here because everybody's still so close together. But the top 3 have gone away. They are 4 seconds up the road. And Speedster just kind of controlling the pace in 4th place at the moment. You can just see the top 3 in shot right there. You can just see Matt Tibos right on the back of Foxy Dude. Tom about 2.2 seconds behind them, and Paco's still with him. Corey closing in on them, inch by inch. Matt Tibos the closest of anybody to anybody on this track. Now, back onto lap 11 of 29. Everybody's still nice and close together, but the guys up front spreading out a little bit. Alfie not trying anything just yet. They're all equally spread out. As you see, Archie is the first to dive into the pit lane for his scheduled stop. I'm sure he's going to be bolting on a set of the hard tyres. There you go. Onto the hard tyres. Away he goes. Or not. Yep, on his way. Once again. And he's dropped to the back of the field. So now Corey into 10th place. He's into the points. And is chasing down the battle between Paco and Tom. So these guys need to just... Corey, Glock and CC Brain just need to kind of stick within a pit stop of the lead, because they're going to be in the lead of this race eventually. But they will not have the tyre life towards the end. It's going to make for an interesting battle. As we see Calzo close up to the back of Alfie. Look how close he is. Saved his ERS that time. And he's right on the back of Alfie here. No corner cut warnings. No warnings for anybody actually for corner cutting, so everybody's being very nice. But Scuba's still in control out front. He's led every lap of the race so far. Still in total control. And as I say that, Scuba into the pit lane. So he is trying to go for the undercut. But if Calzo keeps the pace, or these guys keep the pace, they could be in danger. So now we come into the scheduled stops. So these guys, as you can see, Corey is the first of the guys who stopped early on during the safety car period, so he's into P7. He does not need to stop again. And here you go, Tom and Paco still fighting it out. Paco tried to move right there, not able to quite make it work, and Tom sticks in P5. And you can see Corey right with them now, thanks to that battle. So this is working really well for the two Ferraris and the McLaren. But Alfie and Calzo need to push on now if they want to try and get the overcut to work on Scuba. And you can see they were very close together coming into the pit stop phases. Calzo right on the back of the racing point. And they have to be coming in. Calzo's at the fastest lap of the race, last lap. So he's definitely got the pace. And they're going to be coming out right. They're going to be coming out just behind Corey, Glock and CC Brain. Just see Corey as close up to the back of Paco all of a sudden. So he's closed up right into that. Paco goes a mile wide. And now Corey's got a real shot at taking what is P6 on track. And in come the top two. Alfie and Calzo in from P1 and P2. Matt Tibos makes the move for third as Foxy Dude makes his stop. Now Corey on Paco, he got a terrible exit actually, did Corey. Now Alfie on his way out, where's Scuba? Heading down towards turn 1. Keep an eye out for the Toro Rosso on the racing point on the pit exit. Here they come, there is Alfie. It was very close in the end, but Scuba has actually got the jump on them, made the undercut work, but Alfie's still very close to the back of him. Calzo the big loser in all that one. Alfie still remains within DRS range. Not a bad job. And they have managed to stick where they are. But Matt Tibos now leads this race. And Paco right in the back of Tom, but Corey, Glock and CC Brain are the ones in the driving seat right now. Because they stopped under the safety car. And now Corey's got to find a way through now. He knows that Paco and Tom will have to stop again. But they will have to stop anyway because they haven't made a stop in this race. So they now need to... What Corey needs is for these guys to move out of the way so he can get some clean air. And get a push on and try and build as much of a gap as he can over Scuba, Alfie and Calzo. So Corey and Glock sticking together. Whatever happened to CC Brain? He dropped back massively just there. So whatever happened to him? Now, looking for any pit stops. Those guys have not come into the pit lane. So right now, Corey and Glock are 8 seconds ahead of Scuba. And Scuba just setting the fastest lap of the race on the hard compound tyre. Corey getting held up by Paco through turn 4 there. Turn 3, excuse me. And here comes Glock now to try and take the position away from Corey. Corey's not going to fight that one too hard. Two Ferrari teammates going at it right here. But I say that Corey's holding it around the outside. Two Ferraris going at it. This is costing them time. They can't afford to do this. And they come back to sort themselves out eventually. Matt Tibos still in the lead out front. After starting 12th on the grid, I think. So this is costing them a huge amount of time. They lost a second to Scuba that lap. And this is not helping them in the slightest. They need Tom and Paco to peel into the pit lane shortly. These guys started on the hard tyres, of course, so they're not going to be stopping for a little while longer. Now these guys, of course, are on the same life of tyre, but they stopped under the safety car, as I said before. CC Brain is going to be in shortly because his medium tyres are going to be coming into the end of their life. So I would imagine that he's going to come in. There's Calzo getting past. They're battling out here. Racing Point and Toro Rosso. Calzo makes the move for net P2. But of course, Alfie was behind during the detection point, and here comes Alfie once again in the Racing Point. Making the move. This is for net P2. As I said, Alfie moves to the inside. Calzo squeezes him to the wall. Alfie up the inside into turn 1, retakes the position. Calzo looking for the cutback now. Does he have the DRS? Yes, he does, because he's behind at the detection point. So here comes Calzo. Once again, great battle for P2. Alfie with a massive squeeze to the inside, just leaves enough space. Up the inside goes Calzo, and gets it done once again. And these guys have dropped 2.8 seconds behind our race leader. So Scuba's now 2.9 seconds clear of these guys. And Speedster has gained time in the stops, of course. And Scuba is closing in to these guys up front. There is CC Brain. And just a little bit further up the road is Glock, Corey, Paco, and Tom, and Matt Tibos still leading on track. We'll of course keep an eye on the battle for net P2, because that still goes on between Calzo and Alfie. And Tibos still what could have been a pole lap. That small mistake he made. But he still leads this race on track. Paco in the first of the hard compound runners to make their stops. And he is trying to get the undercut on Tom. Now Scuba's going to come through, of course. Now where are they going to come out, actually? Here comes Alfie to try and get back past Calzo. Look at the speed he's got down towards turn 1. Pulls to the inside line. Can he do it again? Onto the brakes he goes. Up the inside of turn 1. Calzo hangs it around the outside this time. Not quite able to do it. And I think Alfie has the DRS again from being ahead, and he does, and he is back into net P2. So Paco has come out in 13th place, ahead of his teammate. Now that's going to trigger the rest of the hard compound runners to make their stops. We haven't got too long left in this race. Two Ferraris very close together, just saw them coming through there. So we should see the guys up front make their stops. I would assume Corey's going to try and get through to the end of the race on that set of hard tyres. Scuba makes the move past CC Brain, and there's now a 7-second gap to the guys ahead. He needs to try and bring that down as much as he possibly can. He needs to try and catch these guys, and he needs to pass them on track. Tom's going to come in, I'm sure of it. And, well, I said Corey was going to try and make it to the end. Not quite. What I thought was a masterclass strategy, not quite. Glock takes the lead. That's going to put Scuba back into P2 in this race. And Matt Tibos on his way. Alfie and Calzo go through. They're still battling it out. CC Brain is out of this race. What's happened to him? Is he just retired in the pit lane? That's really unfortunate for him. He has unfortunately retired from this race, and Matt Tibos comes out in that small gap between Archie and Foxy Dude. Paco comes out ahead of Tom in the stops, and Corey looks like he just wasn't able to make those tyres last. So if Glock really wants a chance, he's going to have to try and bring these tyres another, although it's a bit of a tall order. Pretty much got to ask them to bring them almost the entire race distance. It's a big ask, but can he do it? He does not need to stop again, and he can try his best to keep Scuba back. It'd be an incredible feat if he could do it, but it might be a bit of a tall order. Now Matt Tibos, of course, late stopper. He moved on to the medium compound tyre, and he's now on the back of Archie immediately. So in the tow, he'll have the DRS as well, of course. No, doesn't need to try anything here. And here he'll have the DRS. Should be a very easy move for Matt Tibos. Archie, I don't think is going to even fight it. Overspeed, and nothing Archie can do about that one, and Tibos goes through into 7th place. And see how much further he can get himself up the grid. So Calzo and Alfie still fighting out. This is going to be a great battle between these two guys. It's going to go to the end of the race, I think. Toro Rosso versus Racing Point. I gotta watch out for Speedster is closing into them, as you can see. Championship leader, 5th place. Been going about his business. And now is in with a shout of grabbing a podium slot potentially. So great job from Speedster. He's got within DRS actually. As you see, the rear wing flap opens up. And he's now in that fight for the podium. The real battle is definitely Calzo versus Alfie. Calzo saving his ERS for the attack down the main straight. 90% ERS. Alfie only on 50%. Calzo should breeze past here, but Alfie is going to put up a stout defense anyway. Here they go once again. Lap 19 of 29. And possibly the swap for net P2 once again. Alfie to the inside line. Calzo moves to the outside line this time, trying to get on the brakes. Alfie nice and light on the brakes there, holds on. Now Speedster is right with them. But he has used up a lot of ERS to get up there. And here comes Calzo once again to the outside line for turn 4. Can he get it on the brakes? Alfie sticks it up the inside. Calzo around the outside of turn 4. Has he got that done? Yes, he has. That's a great move from Calzo. Made it stick around the outside. Not an easy thing to do. And he moves into P2. Net P2. We've got to watch out for Speedster as well. But he has used a lot of, as I said, a lot of ERS to get himself up that far. And got to keep an eye out for Matt Tivos as well, who's closing in on Praga. And he might have a chance later on in this race. 10 laps left to run. Might have a shot later on. But Alfie and Calzo still inseparable. And continuing on. And I think Glock is just going to try and see if he can bring those tyres to the end. Because it's his only shot of a good result here. And, well, I seem to have cursed him. Glock into the pit lane for a set of the soft compound tyres. The first we've seen of this compound all weekend. Out he goes. And where is he going to come out? Going to come out right around that gap, and it's just up front back once again. Alfie and Calzo going at it. Alfie not going to try and... He's going to stick it up the inside of turn 2. Calzo runs a bit wide. Alfie now going to have a nibble at the back right here, and Speedster right with him too. Almost going 3 abreast. Alfie up the inside. Calzo trying to do what he did before and hang around the outside. Alfie now up the inside. This time though, firmly up the inside. Trying to stick it up the inside of turn 5. And this time he makes it work. Great battle between those two. Got to watch out for Speedster, who's now having a look on the outside line of Calzo. That's a really tricky move to make work. And again, not quite able to get the run around the outside. So, order has been restored. Scuba, Alfie, Calzo and Speedster. All pretty much where they started. And Scuba 5 seconds clear out front. You can see just in the background Matt Tivos trying to make the move up the inside of Praga. Wasn't able to quite do it there, but he's not far behind that battle up ahead. You can see, look how much more speed he's got than Praga. Has to be patient and wait for his opportunity. Praga goes wide. Tivos gets the run. He has to back off though. He's right on the back of Praga as they head towards the last corner. And of course, keep an eye on that battle as well as this battle, which continues to rage on. They're swapping positions every lap. Here comes Calzo again, up the inside this time. Finds the inside line. Up the inside he goes. In the background, Matt Tivos on the inside of the McLaren. Calzo up the inside. Will switch to the outside. Alfie holds on for now, but Calzo still sticking his nose in on the outside line. Great racing between these guys. Now he'll have the DRS once again up the inside of turn 4. Can he get it stopped this time? Up the inside goes Calzo. Watch for Alfie on the outside line. You can just see the front wing of the Racing Point. And he does hang it around the outside. Great job from Alfie. And you can see from the helicopter shots how close these guys are. Through turn 7 they'll come again. Calzo has a little look up the inside. And Speedster's still right there. And you can just see Matt Tivos in the background too. So he's got a real shot, a real opportunity at a podium. You see Calzo just on having a little look back there. No DRS this time for Calzo, not closing up this time. Lap 21 we're on right now, 6 seconds out front is Scuba. And not long left in this race. He's actually just about to cross the start-finish line to begin lap 22. 8 laps left to go. Glock making his way through on the soft tyre. But here we go again. Alfie versus Calzo. Towards turn 1 they come again. Calzo looks to the outside line. This time Alfie's got that inside line covered, very much so this time. Looking for the cutback line. He'll have another go again with the DRS down towards turn 4. Overtake mode engaged. He'll have to go to the outside again. He's done it once before, as is Alfie, trying to hang around the outside. He gives him the space, but Alfie just about gets in front this time. And he is ahead. You can see absolutely stuck together these guys, and Matt Tibos closing in slowly but surely. And if he keeps catching the rate he is, he'll be catching at the very, just in the dying last laps. So can he have another go here? Saving his ERS a little bit there is Calzo, but Scuba's pulling out a gap of about 0.6 of a second a lap. So he's doing an amazing job out front, led from start to finish. And barring any problems, he's going to win today. But this battle, unresolved. Alfie, Calzo and Speedster and Matt Tibos very shortly will be right with them, as well as Praga, who's still within 0.7 of a second of Matt Tibos. And here they go again, round 7 million of Calzo versus Alfie versus Speedster. Calzo to the outside line once again. He's tried this multiple times. Onto the brakes he goes. Alfie covers the inside, but Calzo finds the space on the outside line this time, up the inside of turn 2. Switching to turn 3. Alfie still has the inside line, and watch for Speedster. Now he has a go. Does he have enough in the tank to get past Calzo this time? Gets the slipstream off. Alfie, can he go for 2 in 1? Has a think about it up the inside. Calzo tries to go around the outside of Alfie on the outside line there. And they go back to how they were. So Alfie's doing an amazing job to hold on versus these two, with Speedster now looking racy. Matt Tibos 1.4 behind. Speedster up the inside, up ahead. Can he find the space? No. But Matt Tibos and Praga are right with them now. And we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars battling for the podium slots. And there's Glock and Paco swapping places. Glock on the soft tyre, not really much that Paco could do about that one. But Alfie in the Racing Point doing everything to hold back these guys. And Matt Tibos now within DRS of Speedster, and he is on the medium compound tyre. Don't forget he's on the fresher, softer compound. And round 7,000,001. Here comes Calzo again on Alfie. Can he find space on the inside? Alfie covers the inside line very late. Onto the brakes goes Calzo to the outside line. Speedster will look for some space as well. Alfie covers that very well this time, but now it'll compromise his run out of turn 3. Here he comes again. Calzo on the back of Alfie. Alfie covers the inside line again. He'll have to go to the outside line to cover this one again. Calzo tries it around the outside this time. Can he do it again? Hanging around the outside. Alfie up the inside, but Calzo I think just about got ahead. Alfie gonna go late on the brakes at turn 5. They almost make contact. Alfie's almost around. Has Speedster got through? Speedster has to take to the grass, and they somehow come out alive, but Alfie had to swap ends almost there. Sideways coming through turn 5, making contact with the rear right tyre of Calzo, and they somehow managed to work himself out. Good reaction from Speedster to get the car straight again. Had to take to the grass, but that's allowed Matt Tibos to get himself right in this fight now. This fight most certainly isn't over. 5-car battle for second place. That's what we like to see. No penalties involved. And Matt Tibos, of course, don't forget, started outside the top 10. As you can see, he's up 7 places from where he started. He's the biggest mover of these guys in the top 10, and he might be about to make that an 8th position moved. Speedster has the DRS this time. Now, don't forget, don't count out Praga just yet either. The gap is eked out a little bit up front. Lap 25 of 29. Through they go, Wame. There's Tom, should I say, trying to go around the outside of Archie. Around the outside, lovely move from Tom, clean and slick. And he gets through into 7th place. Now Glock are going to try and follow Archie. Archie with the DRS and Tom trying to come back around him. Glock on soft tyres, he gets the traction. Trying to find room. Trying to come round the outside. That's a lovely move from Glock. If you can make that work. Oh, Archie's around. Archie's around in turn 5. I think he was caught by surprise by Glock trying that move, and I think he's backing off to wait for Archie, I think. I think he is indeed. Yeah, he's backing off to wait for Archie as he tried to make that move around the outside. It was a very audacious move, and fair play to him for trying. As you can see, Archie not best pleased with Glock, as Archie was actually right in the fight right there for the midfield points, and these guys have dropped back as a result now. It was almost a brilliant move from Glock, hanging around the outside of turn 5 rather than turn 4, catching everyone by surprise. Back to this battle we go. The DRS train, with Calzo leading it with no DRS, and you can see Alfie using up all of his ERS to try and get back past Calzo here. Calzo's controlling this very, very well indeed, and you can see him going a little bit defensive there. Heading down towards turn 4 once again. Through they go. Alfie, a little bit wide right there, moving over to the right hand side. Speedster still sticking in. We have a problem for Paco, is it? Yes, we do. It's a spinner. He's been in the wall, and he's out of this race. He's been in that wall. He's lost that front wing. And he's unfortunately out of this race. Scuba, by the way, untroubled out front so far. It's controlled from start to finish. Now Alfie's in real trouble. He's had to use up a lot of ERS, and the guys behind, they've got a lot more use. Calzo's controlling that 2nd place now. It looks like he's pretty much secure where he is, unless Speedster can get himself past and onto the podium. Matt Tibos might have something to say about that, though. He wants to make amends for a poor qualifying. Now, here they go once again towards turn 1 for the 27th time. Speedster goes for it, so does Matt Tibos very late on the brakes. He's going to miss the corner entirely. And through goes Praga. He was trying a late dive right there. Speedster tried something as well, and now Praga's going to pick up the pieces from both of those guys. Now, Matt didn't lose too much time there. He may be a little bit caught off guard. Maybe he was adjusting something on the steering wheel and just missed his braking point, but he hasn't actually lost out that much. But it'll be costing him confidence. And there's not many more opportunities. There's 2 more laps to go after this. And brilliant race so far, thanks to the safety car. So Calzo is almost broken that DRS on Alfie. You can see he is almost clear of it. And Praga now looking like he might steal a podium if he can get in front of these guys. But Matt's gonna... hopefully he's not going to try anything that he did before. You can see Alfie has dropped out of DRS range. That's going to leave him very vulnerable. He's got no ERS to defend. And Speedster's got the DRS. And you'll see now, look how much he's closing up already, even in the early part. Here comes the American towards turn 1. Does he try it on the brakes? He thinks about it on the brakes. Praga closes up in the braking zone 2. Hits the back of him, does Speedster. And now Praga actually got the better drive. Here comes Praga, moving to the inside line. Speedster getting the drive off of Alfie up ahead. This is for the last podium slot. Speedster around the outside of Alfie. Can he make it work? No, he can't. Praga gets the cut back on the inside of Speedster. They bang tyres. Through turn 5 they come. Speedster hangs around the outside and round goes Praga in turn 5. And that's unfortunate. That's his race done. All it took was that little tap. Demolishes a sign. And Praga's race is done after that small, tiny bit of contact between himself and Speedster. And that has resolved the issues. But now Speedster's well within the shot of a podium now. Matt Tibbos has he's just inside the DRS range, but bear in mind, there's only one lap left to run. As Scuba's about to start the final lap, he's been having a relatively easy drive out front so far. Final lap in Bahrain. Scuba leads the way from Calzo, who's now 2 seconds clear of Alfie and Speedster and Matt Tibbos, which is the battle is going to go down to the wire. This is Speedster's chance right here, lap 29, to get on the podium. Here he comes. Alfie moves to the inside, Speedster to the outside line. He's using all of his ERS, tries to come around the outside. Alfie's holding on for dear life. Speedster goes a little bit wide, and now it's going to cost him time. Matt Tibbos is going to jump on immediately with the DRS. He moves to the outside line. Can Matt Tibbos pick up 4th place? Just about going to do it. Yes, he can, but Speedster tries to stick it back up the inside now. Matt Tibbos leaves him the space, but he won't have the drive. So Matt Tibbos back into 4th place now. Can he snatch the podium away at the dying moments right here? That'll be interesting to watch. Great drive from him so far. He's come from 14th, I think, to 4th. At least outside the top 10. He has got a shot right here if he can get the drive. Alfie is on 16-lap-old hard tyres. If Matt Tibbos can grab a podium, that would be an absolutely splendid result from him. Not quite going to do it here. He's going to close up as much as he can. Still nice and close to the back of the racing point. He's only going to have really one more opportunity after this corner. That's the last corner on the run to the line. But a man who's onto the run to the line through the last corners, start to finish, nobody troubled him. Scuba wins round 2 in Bahrain in ILR2 PS4. Calzo's going to pick up P2 after a great fight with Alfie, who is going to hold on for that 3rd place. Matt Tibbos is 4th. Speedster across the line in style in 5th. Tom picks up P6. Corey P7. Foxy Dude will come across the line in P8. Praga in P9 after his spin. Miku in P10. Glock in P11. Then it'll be Archie and Paco to cross the line. Paco is, of course, out of this race. And Archie, of course, after the contact with Glock, has dropped all the way back to P12. But a fantastic race. Safety car mixing things up. And pretty much they finished how they started. Let's have a look. You can see... And oh, that was a horrible accident for Archie across the line right there. 2 broken cars sit on the start finish. And that's it for round 2. And your podium is, of course, Scuba. He's won before in ILR2 and he returns to form. His first win of the season. Calzo P2. He goes 1 better than he did in Australia. And Alfie, of course, that's a fantastic result from him. 16th in the last race and he comes 3rd in this race. So what that does to the championship, I'm not sure. But if I'm not mistaken, I think Calzo should take the lead in the championship after that. Let's have a quick run through your final results here. So, let's have a look at your result. Scuba P1 wins in Bahrain. Calzo in P2. Alfie finishes in P3. Matt Tibbos from 12th on the grid comes to 4th place. Speedster in P5. Tom as well from the back of the grid takes P6. Great job from him. As well as Corey come from 14th to 7th place. Praga in P8. Foxy in P9. And that'll be our reserve driver in P10. Glock in P11. Archie in P12. Paco in P13. And our 2 DNFs from this race. CC Brain in the late part of this race, and Super Guy, of course, DNFing on lap number 1 after that huge accident involving Glock. After that started speared off into the middle of the field. But that is it for round 2 of ILR2. And we shall see you at the same time next week, 7 PM on Sunday, for the Chinese Grand Prix. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Thank you and good night.